Let's do another short meditation practice. This time trying to tune into feelings and thoughts, and being aware of any of those particular kinds of thoughts that I introduced. And seeing if we can steer away from those thoughts toward more wholesome thoughts. So maybe stretch a little bit now if you need to. And take some deeper, more enjoyable breaths to build up some energy. You might allow your abdomen to relax and the breath to go down into the abdomen. And then the middle rib cage up into the upper rib cage. Maybe feeling the collarbones and shoulders rising a little higher. Breathing out the past and future. Breathing in the sensations right here, right now. And just returning to more natural, relaxed breathing. Checking your posture and making sure that you're sitting up a little straighter than usual. Sometimes I like to scooch forward a little bit from the back of the chair. And seeing if you can notice that flow of the initial perception, whether it's a sound or maybe lighter colors behind the eyes. A feeling of clothing moving, contact between parts of the body. Noticing the initial perception, and then how the mind categorizes the perception. Is it neutral? Is it unpleasant or painful? Is it pleasant? You might imagine the outline of the body kind of like a radar screen with perceptions lighting up on the surface of the body, within the body. Maybe if you notice something that you haven't noticed before, might invite a little bit of curiosity, a little investigation into what that is. For painful sensations, sometimes I'll imagine that when I'm breathing in, I'm breathing in cooling, healing sensations and sending them to that area. Just another technique that we can use. But also permitting yourself to take a break from a really painful sensation if you need to. Maybe see if you can find the next most painful sensation and wherever that is. And if you do notice something unpleasant or painful, see if you can notice that there's a sense of aversion or wishing that it be different than it is. You might look for subtler sensations. Sometimes when the mind is calm, you might be able to feel your heartbeat or even hear your heartbeat in your ears, or feel it in your fingers and toes or your chest. Sometimes there might even be a pleasant tingling sensation in your hands or feet, or in the area around the heart. On a good day, it can feel almost like electricity, but in a really pleasant way. And it might be take some practice for a while to be able to notice these really subtle sensations. And if you notice any emotions, You might notice that often there's a feeling somewhere in the body that's a part of that emotion, whether it's sadness or happiness, boredom, anxiety. And then there's a feeling tone, pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. And then with emotions, there's also labeling. That we've identified that emotion. And another dimension to notice is that emotions aren't actually mutually exclusive. That it's possible to have happiness and sadness at the same time, and anger. Sometimes just noticing that can help us to see something that we were deluded to. Like a lot of times with painful sensations, I'll have some sadness, unfortunately, that goes along with that. And it's just helpful to acknowledge that and have some compassion for myself. And there's a lot to notice, and we're just scratching the surface in a short meditation like this. You may notice as the body calms down that these feelings and thoughts can have more clarity about all of those things that are going on. And just making a mental note of whatever you've noticed over the past several minutes. Another useful thing to notice is how none of these perceptions or feelings or thoughts are permanent, but they're real. They're happening in the present moment as an experience that's unfolding, but they don't have a permanent existence. And offering ourselves some gratitude and compassion for the effort that it takes to sit down and meditate. Sometimes it helps me to consider how my meditation practice benefits other people who I interact with. And often I'll dedicate the merit of the time that I spent meditating to the benefit of everybody who I'm going to see and talk to afterward, which is something to consider. So I'm going to stop the recording now so we can have some discussion.